Welcome back to Crochet HD. I'm your host, Jackie. If this is your first time here, you're a one-hit wonder, and I'm glad that you're here. Here's hoping that you stick around. If you're a repeat offender, a member of the GlamFam, what's up? So before we get started in today's trip down memory lane, I did want to say thank you to Casey from Niche Craft. She gave me a little shout out on her community tab after I did an unboxing from one of her mystery boxes. And I'm so thankful because I do have a few new people who came to me from her. And also another huge shout out to Debbie from the Canadian Crocheter, who actually did another shout out to me, this time on her most recent video. And I am again receiving new GlamFam members. Because there are a few new people in, I wanted to kind of go over just slightly why my channel is called Crochet HD. The crow is for crochet because I have been a lifelong crocheter. The 80s is because I love the 80s. I love 80s music. I love 80s vernacular, 80s movies, you name it, I love it. With the caveat being shoulder pads and many of the fashion. So I love everything 80s with an asterisk on the clothing. And the HD is because if you say the number 80 with HD, you get ADHD, and I am an adult with ADHD. So as you journey with me, you will find that sometimes I will start talking about one subject and then jump to another subject and jump back to the original subject. Or I'll start a sentence as if I'm going to say something else, you know, like, well, first I'm going to do this, and then I never tell you the second or the third. Yeah, that would be the ADHD. I always give things from my perspective, which means that not everyone with ADHD necessarily presents the same way I do. But at the same time, what I'm hopeful for in opportunities when I do kind of go into my symptoms is that if there's someone in your life that happens to have ADHD, that maybe you'll see some things and maybe recognize that that is in fact what it is. So the next thing, see, I feel like I already said a first thing, but anyway, the next thing I want to mention is I was watching, first of all, I did this, Today is day 4 of the Podcaster Spirit Week that is being hosted by Llama Mama Kayla. And the theme for today is ugly shirt. And this one...
What?
I am wearing it backwards because you're actually supposed to walk around with these words on your back. Most of the shirts that I would consider ugly, I don't actually own anymore. I keep this one for when I'm coloring my... when I'm coloring with crayons in my coloring book. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I actually searched on YouTube for the hashtag Podcaster Spirit Week, and oh my goodness, it was so neat to see so many channels that are participating in this. And I'm almost certain they're all crochet channels, which made me smile in my heart because, you know, I've had this thing where it seems like that crocheters don't do some of the same things, you know, like they don't all make the same pattern or this, that, and the other. But I got this, I figured this out. Here it is. While crocheters won't get on board with the ranunculus, they will get on board with the ridiculous. So yay, Spirit Week. Thank you so much, Llama Mama Kayla. This is the best idea. And I actually hope we get to do this every year or maybe even twice a year because this has just been so much fun. I was watching one of the videos that is participating, and it was a channel I'd never heard of before. It's called Nova Gnome Creations. And apparently she is hosting, I guess, like a mandala blanket make along. She was kind of talking about this like fun fact. The the designer of the blanket that they're all using, the pattern, is Lisa Gentry. And now I know Lisa Gentry for two reasons. One, I've actually met her in 2005. When did I meet? Okay, it is connected. It is in connection with the Squares for Survivors thing that I had done right after Hurricane Katrina. And Hurricane Katrina was in 2005 in August. So okay, so it was in 2005. I digress. She is, if you don't know, aside from being a crochet and knitwear designer, she is actually the Guinness World Book record holder for fastest crocheter. And she got that award in 2005 in Louisiana. How cool is that? Day 4, still sticking with the 80s. These two offerings for today are a little bit different because they are like collectives. They're not like, it's not a crochet magazine. These are, this is Mccall's Needlework and Craft from April 1989. Okay. And this book, well, it's a magazine, but it covers knitting, embroidery, needlepoint, crochet, sewing, crafts, home decor. So it covers, you know, quite a few things. We're going to look at page 30, which is a crochet pattern. I'm thinking they're both crochet patterns. I mean, his is definitely crochet. From this angle, I can't tell hers. Oh yeah, they're both crochet. Okay, here's another one. Okay, I think this one is crocheted here. That one right there. I think they're all crocheted now that I look at it. Okay, so there. And it's funny, you're looking at these babies right here, and all I keep thinking about is those babies, they even put their ages. So these babies are, let's see, 33 years old. Yep, got a little misty eyed. I think this one is knit, but these are crocheted. And there's not very many crochet things in this one. I think that's whenever there's a conglomerate. Ooh, big word, Jackie. Conglomerate. Collaboration, whatever. It's almost always you end up with way more of knitting than crochet. Can we look back at Heather's here? Again, woof. I mean, it's like when you have to go to the office during the week, but you're playing center field. No, that ain't right. Well, when you're football word on the weekend. Hey, this is fun. Vinegar painting. This one is a book that my mom bought for me right after I learned how to crochet. It is the Treasury of Needlecrafts. This is the exact book. So it's been in my house, in my house. It has been in my life since 1981 at least. Let's see, what is the copyright date? 1982. Okay, so I learned in 1982. Oh, that changes things substantially. There is actually a piece of the original yarn stuffed in this book like I was pressing flowers. I don't know. So here's the knitting and crochet section. And I was like, okay, I can make everything. I don't know what these words mean. So I just looked at pictures. No, none of my pictures, nothing I made looked like this. Unless you wanted to look at it like, no. Here's another one. Something that irks me. It bugs me when people refer to non-granny squares as granny squares. The difference is granny squares are very, very obvious. You know, it's the 3 double crochets together and then a chain and then 3 double crochets. That is a granny square through and through. Just because it's a crocheted square doesn't mean it's a granny square. Okay? Here's another pattern. This book covers knitting, applique, patchwork, crocheting, quilting, embroidery, rug making, and needlepoint. Look at this. I actually like this blanket. I don't know if it's because of the color or the style, but I like it. And I want to make a blanket, not a blanket. I want a cardigan in that traditional classic fisherman's, you know, that off-white, white color. I really want a cardigan in that color. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, here's another Afghan. Oh, so as I was saying to you yesterday about the things that were accessible and available to crocheters back in the 80s. That's placemats made out of rug yarn. I don't know why I find that strange, but I do. Last but not least, this one we're going to go back another decade. We're going to the 70s again. Some of these patterns look really familiar even though it's in a different magazine. This is Mccall's Stitchery, Motifs in Crochet. Okay, see? Granny squares. Let's get groovy. A granny tunic. I'm just sharing. I'm not commenting. A flower square vest. This is the one that was on the front cover. This seems very strategically placed. Okay. This is the guy that was dating the woman that lost the bet in the other magazine. Man's motif pullover. I'm pretty sure all of these are acrylic yarns. So they're hot. Yeah, this is 70s acrylic yarn. If I could wear hats, because I think too much, therefore I can't wear hats. I kind of like this. I think it's made out of thread, so, you know, I wouldn't make it out of that, but I kind of like it. Y'all know I'm breaking out in hives with all these Granny squares. Y'all remember that lady that lost a bet? I'm pretty sure I found her teenage daughter. Less is more, my friend. Less is more. I'm not feeling any hatred. Now this seems like something that you would make with your scraps. Like you don't sit down and make a bunch of them. Just as you finish a project or whatever, you just whip up one of these things. And then maybe you sit down and piece them together. Maybe. That is all. I'm Anita Mo. So motifs were very popular in the 70s. Yes. Granny squares especially. Yes. You know what? I'm trying to find some sort of enlightening message that I could take from this. Okay. Would I ever make anything in this magazine? No. Do I appreciate it? Yes. Again, there's a lot to be learned about your past. Let's see, the copyright in this magazine was 1976. I don't know a whole lot about like what the economy was like in 1976. I mean, I've heard about like the gas crisis, oil crisis, some kind of crisis, and you know, where people were only allowed to get so much gas, and you know, so, and there was a lot of unemployment, and these are literally things that I picked up by watching All in the Family reruns. So I'm going to just say that, and oftentimes thinking about like granny squares, they were put together using scraps. And then they took the scraps and they turned them into something usable. So creativity was there. And while the people, you know, in this magazine weren't wearing them because, you know, they couldn't afford to buy clothes, the originator of it probably did. Hats off to that. It's still an interesting piece of crochet history. So I'm going to take it as that. If you like this video, please like this video. If you really like this video, please consider subscribing and becoming a member of the GlamFam. Oh, also, we do have a Ravelry group, and the link for that is down in the description, but I'm also going to put it across here. And you know why I'm going to put it across here? Because some people watch YouTube on their TV and therefore can't access the description box. So for all of you, all of us, because I also watch YouTube on TV, I'm putting it right across here for your viewing pleasure. With that, I will bid you adieu. Once again, my ugly shirt for the day. Thank you so much, Llama Mama Kayla. Again, if you are a podcaster that is watching this, please jump on the bandwagon. We have 3 more days, I think. Join in. It's a lot of fun. For those of you who don't have a podcast, but you still want to kind of see what others are doing, just go into the search bar on YouTube and type in hashtag Podcaster Spirit Week, and you'll get a nice collection of videos to keep you entertained. Okay? All right. Until next time, I've been Jackie.